Welcome to WTF Fairy Tales. This week we will be reading The Donkey.
Once upon a time there lived a king and a queen who were rich and had everything they wanted except one thing. They had no children. The queen lamented over this day and night and said, "I am like a field on which nothing grows." At last God gave her wish.
Yeah.
But when the child came into the world, it did not look like a human child, but was a little donkey.
Ow. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how that happened.
Does the queen like to go to the stables at night?
Sounds like that.
Probably the birds probably sent the wrong baby.
There you go. Yeah.
Stork drop.
Yeah. Classic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Classic
this was supposed
misdrop.
to go to like a completely different, like Lovecraft dimension.
Yeah.
Sorry about the donkey baby.
We take it to this horrific thing.
This
you
is
know.
all tomorrow, kids. Oops.
He's all like, yeah, maybe the stork just dropped the wrong package off, man.
The package hit a few twigs on the way down.
Probably they bumped into
Yeah.
each other. Oh, which one baby's we delivering? Oh, it doesn't matter. Grab him.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
When the mother saw that, her lamentations and outcries began in real earnest. She said she would far rather have had no child at all than have a donkey, and that they were to throw it into the water, that the
too
fishes might devour it.
Oh.
Even Eve loved her ugly babies.
Yeah, like even she's.
So don't even like kill it quick, but throw it in the water.
What?
You
I
know?
want to see it suffer.
It's like
That
a-
ugly needs to suffer.
I mean, she asked for it.
It's like a prom night
She asked
dumpster
for the
baby. You asked for it.
Yeah.
You wanted a baby, I gave you a
Now you
baby.
gotta love it.
And there's a donkey out there that is barren now.
You did horrible
You
things
should
to
see the
him.
baby you got.
He throws into a water.
No,
full
it
of
didn't get one.
piranhas.
She just, the stork just like, no, this
I'm just
queen
saying,
really
like,
wants a baby and
I'm
I'm
just
delivering this donkey.
She got some kind of donkey
Ooh,
person.
I got a baby
hybrid.
child
I like
of a
to think
different
that it came out
species.
some
Let's
kind
throw it
of,
in the
like,
river.
Opposite abomination. Jumped
Uh-huh.
to human like this kid.
God, just did it. But the king said, "No, since God has sent him, he shall be my son and heir, and after my death sit on the royal throne and wear the kingly crown." So, yeah,
Donkey King.
it's a donkey king, right? Donkey king.
Donkey King.
We got listed there.
The donkey therefore was brought up and grew bigger, and his ears grew up beautifully high and straight. He was, however, of a merry disposition, jumped about, played, and had especial pleasures in music, so that he went to a celebrated musician and said, "Teach me thine arts, that I may play the lute as well as thou doest."
I want to be
Like I'm just
fancy.
imagining everybody in the kingdom, and they just see a donkey just sitting literally at the throne. The donkey's all confused, and everybody's like, "Is this our king? It's an animal.
Yes.
This is horrible."
The queen had fertility problems, so
"Ah, dear little master,"
She is pretty twisted.
answered the musician, "that would come very hard to you. Your fingers are certainly not suited to it." Fingers. Okay, so it said little donkey, but now he has fingers.
that's
What?
right. Well, I assume
What?
it came out as a people donkey hybrid.
Yeah, it's like it's a human.
I saw
donkey.
like a donkey
Oh,
like
God.
with a Care Bear body almost and like a human face.
Is that what you saw?
I
All
hope
right.
you see that now too.
All right, I was like, I would say his
I found, like, an
fucking
actual
fingers aren't
donkey.
suited to it, is that they're hooves. Hooves.
So it's like a weak mutant. So it's like.
Yeah, what is he gonna do? He's kill me.
Josiah, what do you want? Kill me. No, we need him.
I thought we
He's
also
off.
talked to you esoteric, so I was
But
like,
he's,
yeah,
he's in. It
witchcraft
sounds like he's in
queen.
several pain.
Oh.
Little donkey.
So your fingers aren't suited to it, and they're far too big. Far too big.
Big, thick, meaty fingers on the
Big,
donkey man.
meaty fingers. He's got big hands. They call him banana hands, donkey
Maybe he's
king
got like
man.
the head of a donkey.
Wow. Ugh. Well, you know what they say, right? I mean, he is a donkey. Big hands mean something, right?
Hey.
Put your
Okay.
hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
That's right. I am afraid the strings would not last. Wow, powerful big hands. Ooh. No excuses were of any use. The donkey
is a
was
merry
determined to
fellow.
play the lute.
I know.
Spirit walking.
I can hear it stopping up.
Mhm.
Yeah, all the dogs are in here.
Yeah, they're just sneezing, playing with their chewy toys and stuff.
He was persevering and industrious, and at last learnt to do it, as well as the master himself. The young lordling. That's a word. That's a word. Lordling.
Now he's a tiny little itty dinky.
Once went out walking, full of thought, and came to a well. He looked into it, and in the mirror clear water saw his donkey's form. So he didn't know that he was a. He's like, I'm a normal person. He just ran.
Like Evie.
I think Evie said that.
Yay!
I'm the king.
I'm the king.
Yeah, he's the king. It's alright.
Okay, no, he's the king. Shut up.
Yeah.
We're just being nice, man.
Yeah, Evie.
So he looks in the water here. He sees his reflection, and he was so distressed about it that he went out into the wide world and only took with him one faithful companion. So faithful that they named him not. Right? They traveled up and down, and at last they came into a kingdom where an old king resigned, who had...
Resigned?
Yes.
I quit.
Oh, excuse me, king had reigned. I don't know why I saw an
Oh.
S there. Yes.
I quit.
This is over.
I thought
man.
they meant was like hanging
Get
out.
over.
Who had an only but wonderfully beautiful daughter. Ooh, the donkey said, here we will stay.
Hey.
This hot chick.
I got meaty fingers.
I got meaty
You see
fingers.
how big and straight my ears are?
How beautiful.
I'm a noble ass.
Oh, God. Knocked at the gate and cried, a guest
Mom's
is without...
down.
A guest is without open, that he may enter. Okay. As, however, the gate was not opened, he sat down, took his lute, and played it in the most delightful manner, with
Big,
his
thick, strong loop.
with his 2 forefeet.
Breaking fingers.
So that's how he was doing it.
Oh,
he was
his
playing.
toes.
He
Yeah,
was
that
playing.
doesn't look extra
He's
weird.
got his little tootsies out, and he's like, I can't play it with my hands, so I figured,
I'm
my
playing
feet.
No
with my
wonder.
He plays the
It
banjo
has
with
hooves.
his feet.
I play the banjo
too.
with
his toes.
I play the banjo too.
I played the banjo too.
Then the doorkeeper opened his eyes, most wonderfully wide, and ran to the king and said, outside by the gate sits a young donkey, which plays the lute as well as an experienced master.
Hey.
Then let the musician come to me, said the king.
No, it was done with his feet. I
Yeah.
didn't even mention that part.
Yeah, he didn't
I
even
don't
say that.
think he
He
realized.
just plays it really good, all right? I don't see how people play music. Okay, I just hear the music.
I'm a music purist. All right?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
it's like the 1500s. How does music
Look here, I'm bored, and I want
Music
something to
don't
entertain me
give us
because I'm a
all-
fat king.
That's
All
right.
kings are fat. Period.
That's how it works.
I'm bored. I can't even get up from this chair.
When, however, a donkey came in, everyone began to laugh at the lute player. And now the donkey was to sit down and eat with the servants. He, however, was unwilling, and said, I am no common stable ass. I am a noble one.
Yeah, because there's lots of asses and they're playing the banjo with their feet.
Stable
Sorry, the
ass.
lute.
And the lute.
The lute.
Then
the
they
farting
said,
lute.
If that is what thou art, seat thyself with the men of war. No, said he, I will sit by the king. The king smiled and said good-humoredly, Yes, it shall be as thou wilt, little ass. Come here to me. Then he asked, Little ass, how does my daughter please thee? The donkey turned his head towards her, looked at her, nodded, and said, I like her above measure, and have never
no
yet
women
seen
be thirsty back then, huh?
anyone so beautiful as she is. Well then, thou shalt sit next to her too, said the king.
Mommy, I want a donkey. I want a donkey that plays the harp.
That is exactly what I wish, said the donkey. And he placed himself by her side, ate and drank, and knew how to behave himself daintily
Hey.
and cleanly.
Fancy ass.
Fucking fancy ass.
Sorry.
That was
I knew
good.
one of them would be good.
When the noble beast had stayed a long time at the king's court, he thought, what good does all this do me? I shall still have to go home again.
Damn.
Let his head hang sadly and went to the king and asked for his dismissal. But the king had grown fond of him and said, Little ass, what ails thee? Thou lookest as sour as a jug of vinegar. I will give thee what thou wantest. Dost thou want gold? No, said the donkey, and shook his head. Dost thou want jewels and rich dress? No. Dost thou wish for half of my kingdom? Indeed, no. Then said the king, if I did but know what would make thee content, wilt thou have my pretty daughter to wife?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Ah,
Little
yes,
butt hugger.
said the ass. I should indeed like her.
So you just
And-
throw a pity party and someone's gonna tell you
Yeah, come on.
I don't
Come
want
on,
nothing.
man.
No.
You can have all of my stuff, not none of my stuff.
No.
You can bang my daughter.
Well,
Maybe.
No. What your daughter looks like? She's just hot.
As he
Okay, I'll take her.
stroketh his donkey beard.
he's like, I saw her earlier, so.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, said the ass. I should indeed like her. And all at once he became quite merry and full of happiness.
I'm sure he did.
For that was exactly what he was wishing for. So a great and splendid wedding was held in the evening, when the bride and bridegroom were led into their bedroom.
Straight
The
to
king
the
wanted to
bedroom.
know if the ass would behave well.
You be a good ass.
Is he a bedroom ass?
I guess she's gonna get a little piece of ass. And by that I mean a very, very probably large, you know.
Are you a donkey everywhere?
It will be difficult.
How do I know it's an actual donkey and you didn't stuff a man in that
Horny
suit?
ass.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, and ordered a servant to hide himself there. Oh, he likes to watch. We
Oh.
all know who that servant is. We've all had that
Old
servant,
school
right?
warrior
Right,
with
hanging
a
out,
certain artist
just
who
peeking
makes
in every
sketch.
once in a while. Breathing heavily.
Yes, finally.
I'm about to see that. He's about to watch a donkey show. You have to pay extra for that in most places. You have to pay extra. Donkey show.
Gross.
When they were both hidden, I'm sorry. When they were both within, the bridegroom bolted the door, looked around, and as he believed that they were quite alone,
Oh, so
he
he
suddenly
cornered her in the room and locked the door. That got creepy.
threw
Welcome
off
to murder
his
house.
ass's skin and stood there in the
you
form
love me?
of a handsome royal youth. Yes. Now,
Dang.
said he, thou seest who I am, and seest also that I am not unworthy of thee.
Do you think she was disappointed?
I don't know, we're about to find out. Then the bride was glad.
You said you
Ooh,
were-
she saw that, she said, oh my,
It's happening.
oh, I'm so happy. All right, so then the bride was glad and kissed him and loved him dearly
Damn.
Oh my
all
god.
night long.
Very deeply. She
Yeah.
loved him.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
He was born with this donkey suit, though. Remember, Mama didn't like him.
I guess yeah. He could have just taken it off the whole time.
Daddy knew.
But
It's
Dad knew
it's
though
him
somehow.
shitting his foreskin.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can have sex.
Good.
Now I
what
can
he
be
did.
with thee, my lady.
That's what he did.
He shedded. He shedded. That means it fell off of him, and he was hot.
When the morning came, he jumped up, put his animal's skin on again, and
Wait,
no
what?
one could have guessed what kind of a form was hidden beneath it.
Why
I don't-
would
yeah.
you put it back on?
I don't think you're supposed to
People
put it
don't
back
treat
on.
the
I think
dice
you're just
when
supposed
I'm
to just throw it out.
Yeah,
One
it's
time
just
used.
to throw it. Yeah, that's hygienic.
It's like, yeah, but I play a lute with this on, and that's my end. I'm just some dude playing the lute with my feet. Without
Soon-
thinking
Soon came the perverted old king. Ah, cried he,
it's perverted.
is the little ass merry?
Gross.
Yeah.
You didn't want to know.
'Cause
But
he watched
surely-
it all night.
Thou art
Yeah,
sad,
Spy in there all night.
said he to his daughter, that thou hast not got a proper man for thy husband.
It's like, oh, so he wanted his daughter to be destroyed by a donkey. Oh,
And so she's like at this
Sadistic
point she's
king.
like kind of heaving at the same time.
Or maybe the king's afraid.
Oh
You don't
no,
blame him.
dear father, I love him as well as if he were the handsomest in the world, father.
He's got very strong hands.
He's so veiny under the skin, Dad.
And I will keep him as long as I live. The king was surprised, but the servant who had concealed himself came and revealed everything to him.
Dude.
Everything.
He's a dude.
Everything. Yeah, this guy was
I drew a
gross.
picture. I was there all night.
The king said, "That cannot be true. Then watch yourself the next night, and you will see it with your own eyes. And hark you, Lord King. Woof. If you were to take his skin away and throw it in the fire, he would be forced to show himself in his true shape. Thy advice is good," said the king. And at night, when they were asleep, he stole in. And when he got to the bed, he saw by the light of the moon a noble-looking youth lying there, and the skin lay stretched on the ground.
Ooh. Well, you know.
So, like any normal person, he took someone else's property. He took it away, and
Yes, it's obviously a magical ass skin.
had a great fire lighted outside and threw the skin into it, and remained by it himself until it was all burnt to ashes. So he's like, I am going to make sure
King Dick.
that this skin burns.
Why are they so offended?
I don't know. Like, apparently he was all down with his daughter banging a
He had like a
Right.
weird
donkey.
thing for
Yeah, he was like,
donkeys.
yeah, it's my little ass Mary. Here is the ass Mary.
Well, how good was this disguise? You know, I don't
Looking
imagine
fucked
a
up.
lot of medieval good donkey disguises going around. Must
Yeah.
have been pretty blatant.
As, however, he was anxious
Oh, weird.
to know how the robbed man would behave himself, he stayed awake the whole night and watched. Feeling a little guilty.
Yeah.
Feeling a little guilty and maybe a little scared. When the youth had slept his sleep out, he got up by the first light
Good, I
of
got all
morning.
my sleep out. I'm up.
Whew, it's all out. I wanted to put on the ass's skin, but it was not to be found. On this, he was alarmed, and full of grief and anxiety, said, "Now I shall have to contrive to escape." But when he went out, there stood the king, who said, "My son, whither away in such haste? What hast thou in thy mind? Stay here. Thou art such a handsome man. Thou shalt not go away from me. I will now give thee half my kingdom, and after my death thou shalt have the whole of it."
What does half of a kingdom mean? Like, do you just split it into another country?
Just the people.
Yeah, just the people.
All right,
Half
you
these
guys
people,
look here,
you guys all have to do everything this guy says.
Everyone from the bottom down.
He's
Face
like,
down.
you're king, basically. Yeah, so that's just how it works. Then I hope that what begins so well may end well, and I will stay with you, said the youth.
Well, it was really easy just to convince him. Like, just 2 lines of, it's okay, you could just be a handsome dude.
Mhm.
Oh, you're right.
And the old man gave him half the kingdom. And in a year's time, when he died, the youth had the whole. And after the death of his father, he had another kingdom as well, and lived in all magnificence.
Yay!
Oh.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yes, that is the end.
I did it.
Like-
I live in Magnet.
Like a lot of castles? Like it's basically was like, hey,
So we're not
since
gonna-
he died a lot, and so was his father, we're gonna give him 10 castles.
We're not going to explain
A lot of things.
the donkey skin at all. We're not,
Before it's
or
been-
why he would have continued to wear it,
or why he was born in it.
or why. I mean, there was literally zero consequence.
Why he was
There was
birthed
zero
with
consequence.
I thought
donkey
maybe
skin.
he'd
Or-
be like, now I have to really turn into an ass
Mhm.
forever.
Yeah, I thought maybe
Now
he
you
would
doomed
disintegrate.
me.
Yeah, I am now.
Or he came back and the prince was
Yeah.
also burnt as the donkey skin was
Mhm.
burnt to the fire. You
Yeah.
know, you could
I don't know.
scream.
Those
There's
just
there was
just
a lot of
imagine.
good ways the story could have gone, but you know, donkey skin.
Maybe
I
they're
Or
just-
just a donkey, not even donkey skin, just the donkey.